Hey, I'm Jay Beershank. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're here for another edition of book reviews. Behind me we're looking at the workshop where I work full-time with my family business called GeoShip. It's across the street from the tent area that I live on. If you want to check that out, I made a little vlog of it. You can check my YouTube channel for that. Anyway, today we have an amazing book. It's a book that I had actually, the name of it I had always kind of heard of and always had like this mystic ambiance presence around, and I always was really into it and didn't know if it was a movie, a book, a concept, what it was, but I loved the idea of it. And that title in that book is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It was a wonderful book. I really enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. And while I was reading it, I had referenced it to a few people as the book that I was reading, and I also came to understand that it actually has a good amount of cultural significance in South American. I don't know if it's South American or Mexican. It could be Central American, but anyway, south of the United States literature. It has some cultural significance, so it's a good book to read for that, because then you can talk about it with a good amount of people, which is always fun and something that I really value in books that I choose to read. Yeah, if they're time tested or if they have cultural significance, it's probably a good sign. Anyway, this book is awesome. It goes through about 180 years, maybe more, of one family living in this village that was founded by this same family. And it's such a wonderful, fun adventure that the book takes you through, because of like the, you know, this book, the way that it's written, reminds me a lot of another book that I reviewed, Candide by Voltaire. The reason I was in love with that book so much was because of the way that these wild, crazy things were being said in the book, but they're being said in such a candid, normal way that the book just kind of embodies this like such true realistic aspect, like so close to life. Because in life, you know, things happen unexpectedly, and crazy things, they just happen and then they're over like that, and then life continues on. And in this book, many of those times, you know, things like that happened where, you know, someone like 15 people get murdered in one scene, or like someone ascends to heaven randomly out of nowhere, or just like all these random things are going on, and the way that it's said is just like so nonchalant, and it's just so funny to read about that. But getting kind of off here. This book was super fun for me to read because you're getting to go through about 6 different generations of this family, and each generation has like their own unique storylines and character developments and like different approaches towards life, community, and family. And that's really fun to see, because there's this cyclical pattern in the family, like, you know, each member that's being born in the next generation kind of resembles one of the members that was born a generation before them. And I think that that's a really good analogy for just like the cyclical nature of human consciousness, or the types of people that we see in our daily lives. Like, obviously everyone has their individual you know, manifestations of intellect and emotional intelligence and whatever they choose to do, but there's also this deep similarity and resonance that we all have, and that's reflected through this book in a really fun way. And the writing style, like I said, it's cool because it's so quick, because so much is happening in the 400 pages. It's 180 years of like 50 people's experiences, so it's moving quickly. But the concise nature of the tone makes it like really poignant, really hilarious, and really insightful. We got my uncle, he's ripping it up on the electric bike over there. Kind of scared me. Anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed it for that aspect. One thing about this book that I did notice though was I think it should be read all in one shot, not over a long period of time, because there are so many different characters and they all have similar names. So if you read it over a long period of time, then you're definitely going to start jumbling up the characters and their different developments and ideas, because, you know, these 8 generations all are basically given the same names as children, like Jose and like another one, I can't remember the exact, Aureliano and Jose are like the most common. So there's like 10 characters named Jose and 10 characters named Aureliano. So you really have to keep the storyline in check to understand what's going on at all points. I read this book over maybe like two months because I didn't have time to be reading it consistently. So I started to come back to it sometimes and be like, oh, what's going on here? Who is this? Oh yeah, it's this guy. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's one thing that I would recommend is either keeping a chart of like who's who and being able to stay organized with this book, or just reading it fairly consistently straight through. Yeah, this was cool because the book really could have gone on forever. It's a cool way to write a book, you know, through a descending lineage, because it's like, you know, it can be a never-ending story, and that's really how it felt when I was reading it. It was like, you know, how is this going to end? Where is this going to end? And he brought it to a fairly abrupt ending, which was fun because of the way that he did it. It was interesting, and I guess you could say it revolves around a fundamental truth. Some people might question that fundamental truth, and I don't even know if I necessarily believe in that fundamental truth, but many smart people do, so you can figure out what that fundamental truth is if you read the book. And yeah, it has to do with this cyclical time loop idea, which is a really interesting, dense idea if you start to research that. Yeah, anyway, I'd recommend this book. 8 out of 10. I found it interesting. Now I can talk about it with other people, and I finally demystified this term 100 Years of Solitude, which is nice to finally know what it means and what it's from. So that's my review of 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It was a wonderful book. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this review. It was a little bit sporadic because I didn't plan, I just went for it. But peace out from Northern California. It's a sunny day. It's Thanksgiving. Don't forget to give thanks every day.